What's this thing doing here?
You can just hit allow access.
And then say okay on that. I'm gonna stop the recording. Stop.
What's up with you? Yep, you're on the right one. So we'll make sure it's going to this way.
So we want to stop the recording for a second. Stop it. So now I need to put it my other side name. So I am here. Oh, so
There you go.
okay, so now I gotta go back. Sorry about that.
Oh, this is, I've never seen this before. This is awesome.
So this is me. Side name. Side name. So I'm claiming my house. Yeah, can I do that? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
so so let's not do remember my name. So it can go back to your name. So,
And then you can pause it. No, it wouldn't let you before if you weren't.
so,
I think it's that one now.
Let us recite our call. Keep us, O God, from pettiness. Let us not be large in thought, in word, in deed. Let us have done with all mind and lost self-pity. Make me put away all pretense and each other face to face, without self-pity and without prejudice. May we never be hasty in judgment and always be generous. Let us take time for all things. Make us to grow calm, serene, and gentle. Teach us to put into action our better impulses, straightforward and unafraid. Grant that we may realize it is the little things that create differences, that is the big things in life we are in common. May we strive to touch and to know the great common part of our life. And oh Lord God, let us not have hearts to be kind. I invite you to join with me in the recitation of our mission and our objective. And then the BPWPGH is to create equity for all women in the workplace, advocacy, and education and information, empowering working women to achieve their full potential, and partner with employers to build a successful workplace through education, research, knowledge, and cost. The BPW objectives are to elevate standards for women in business and in profession, to promote their interests, to develop cooperation among them, and to extend opportunities for them through education, especially in industry, science, and vocation. I invite you to please stand for the pledge of allegiance with the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The purpose for this meeting is basically to go over a lot of the information that has been gathered since I was elected in June. Cindy was elected in June, and some of the things that we had found and or discovered. to share with you some of that information and to try to make sure that we can serve you in the best way possible in the upcoming year. And that we are on, I'm gonna say, same accord and same page. Also to review some of the conversations that were had during the executive and the transitional executive meetings. So I'm gonna ask our reporting secretary, Gail Ross Brown, if she would share some of that. I'm going to ask Marcia Cox Johnson if she would share some of the information that was found as a result of us trying to uncover and discover exactly who we are as members and the things that are available to us. So there will be a brief treasurer's report as well as a brief statement from our membership chair. And then among the pages in the papers that you have, you will find that you have not only the agenda with some additional papers and pages attached to it, but you also have roles and responsibilities. You have roles and responsibilities, and these roles and responsibilities I pulled it off of the BPW website. There's a wealth of information available to us on the BPW website. And so a lot of the information that's going to be shared with you is a result of that. One of the things that Marita shared, and then I went to that magical meeting, and this is our playbook. And laid out inside of this playbook is everything that we're supposed to do from September through June. Day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. The contest, which I equate as being goals and objectives. And so my plan, as part of this planning session, is not only to get you to help identify some of the gaps in the plan, but also to fix dates, agree to dates, see if we can't get the committee's staff that need to be staffed, deal with conflicting dates. And I know this is gonna be a lot in an hour, but that's the plan. Talk about the goals and objectives. Again, goals and objectives, the way I understand it, are basically the contests that you folks have always engaged in. I'm just translating it into goals and objectives. And then to look at some of our priorities as a local organization. And part of that is the recovery of our historical documents and straightening out some governance and compliance things that we need to take care of. Among the things that need to be found is our original charter. We need to do some things with our 501c6 and of course with our taxes. I mean, that 990N. I'm also going to ask that anybody who gave something tonight, you're going to start writing it down, because I think that we need to start documenting our income. Tax purchase, I know we need to be documenting income. It's also a way of us being able to say this is some of our incomes. And something scheduled to stop me, back me up, slow me up, say, whoa, stop, tell the year, whatever you need to do, just do it. At the convention in June, they came up with a new set of bylaws. So we need to look at the bylaws. And of course, we need to look at some fundraising. And I found out when I was writing this yesterday or this morning that our next meeting is next week. I did not know that this summer was over, and that it would be time to celebrate a new month, a new date, and a new time. So in getting ready to get ready for next week's meeting, I'm going to suggest that perhaps we can do a call tomorrow. Because I know that I sent out a million emails, but I think they all went to people's spam, because nobody used to getting an email from me. And a few of the people that I had the privilege of talking to, meeting them in the grocery store or on the street. And they go, what email? I haven't seen a thing. So I am not on anybody's list as an automatic email. That having been said, I am going to ask Gail Ross Brown if she would be so kind as to share some of what was shared with. If you would be so kind. Okay. Only so that those folks at home will be able to see you and to look at you. But folks at home, okay. I think we got at least two.
So I'm not gonna leave every single detail, because I've highlighted points of.
Can you
what-
guys hear her?
We met on, Tuesday, July 2nd. Our attendance were Representative Henley, Cindy Hayes, Tashana Lewison, Ivor Wright, Stacey Hopkins, Gail Rossborough, and Marsha Cox Thompson. The meeting overview was an alignment on priorities and a roadmap for the 2025-26 season. The top issues we covered were budgets, committees, membership roster, compliance, and finding a permanent meeting location in next season. Our key discussion points were on budget and financial oversight, absent of comprehensive budget, Joanne McKinley, a review of past expenditures and current financial responsibilities, and there's a need for a clear line item budget process. On committees and roles, formation of committees for governance and event planning, Audra and Roslyn are set as the ecumenical care team. Stacy is to draft the bylaws and descriptions. And Tashana is to share the Robert's rules for our organization. On membership roster, we highlighted the importance of maintaining an accurate roster for the 25-26 season. I was impressed to know we have 76 members, but or is it 76?
It is, I mean, we had, we'll get that report within us.
So the membership that we have, we don't see at our monthly meetings. And so we talked about how best to not only encourage that membership to come, but how best to keep it cohesive and keep a sense of camaraderie connection. On compliance and nonprofit status, our IRS reputation of our NPO status was talked about the prioritization of reinstatement efforts and filing the Pennsylvania form for statement compliance. With regard to communications and operations, overhaul of the current communication system is needed. Our meeting logistics, the importance of district and state level events in terms of us going to those things, focusing on food and hunger initiatives, which I believe is at the state level, and then finalization of regular meeting locations we are going to talk about. And our action items were to file the Pennsylvania compliance form, schedule budget review meetings, develop line item budget templates, form committees and assign roles, draft and distribute updated bylaws and officer job descriptions, update and verify member rosters, research nonprofit organization meeting statement requirements, and identify and secure a regular meeting venue. And our next meeting is where we are right now. That concludes the summarization of our meeting.
Okay. I'm gonna stay seated for this, but, one of the things that I'm interested in is if you look back, because if we're gonna have a round table kind of discussion, even though the tables aren't round and you guys are spread out across the room. If there were the things that we did last year. Part of the introduction during that first hour, was asking the question about, the three things you would like to share, what excites you about being a BPW member. And so as part of the member reflections, as we're looking at recapping and updating and looking forward, what are the things that excite you about being a BPW member? What do you want to see happen in this next year? What's on your agenda? Don't all speak at once. Yes, ma'am.
I would just like us to do more things in the community, so people can know who we are.
More things in the community so people will know who we are.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, even us wearing things, GBW, they, nobody knows who we are.
Okay. All right. Anyone else?
I
Yes.
like some of our traditional events. I love the Linda J. Bob luncheon. And I love the vendor fair, whether it's yours and things. So those are two things. At least for the last 50 years, maybe, I've been involved in that. I just love that.
Okay. Faith, did you have your hand up? Or you about to say that? Joanne?
Yeah, well, what I'd like is for us to appreciate our roots so that we understand how we got to where we were and how important BPW was and is.
Okay, so our roots and how important the BPW was and is. Yes, ma'am.
I would like for us to get to know it, because I feel like there's such a wealth of
knowledge and things we need to know about each other that we don't know, that a meeting like this wouldn't necessarily help us do. So I'd love us to do more, getting to know, connecting.
Or the icebreakers help.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it perhaps elaborate some other way. I think one, that's an easy way to help people are by collaborating. And secondly, it also will grow those events that we know we have traditionally every year. Because now we've bonded, maybe with the sorority, maybe with women offenders, maybe with the YWCA. I would like to see us, reaching out and doing some things either to support them by maybe volunteering for their events, and then getting them to either attend or volunteer for our event. And that can be a social club also, doesn't have to be, just all women. But we've had that in the past where a couple of social club has came, helped us do some things, so. Doesn't have to be traditional, doesn't have to be all women, but certainly I think it would be good to collaborate with other organizations.
And I hope those folks at home heard you talk about the collaboration and doing things and reaching out to the community and doing things, because those are all important things. My reflection as a member is part of that is not only reaching out to the community and seeing how many things and how many people we can touch and how we can touch them, but not being afraid to touch them. On Saturday, I had the privilege of sitting with Marlise, Bennett. Okay, thank you. See, part of my problem, which is why I happen to like this format better, because at tables, you're gonna get to discover who's sitting next to you, who's sitting across to you, what their name is, what their preferred name is, where they went on vacation. Went to North Carolina, South Carolina. Okay, and I heard bucket list. I mean, so we get to discover that people have a bucket list and that you're checking it off and that you're enjoying your life. Or like, and let us all pray for the Bryant family, the Bryant Richard, Robinson family, because, Juanita lost her cousin and her family was in Detroit last week. On behalf of this organization, by the way, I did send letters of condolence to the family on behalf of BPWPGH in order to express our condolence, because if my memory is serving me correctly, what I've heard, and I don't know this to be true, but I believe that Miss Diane has been one of our past presidents. There's no way we can let the child of one of our past presidents.
It's her grandson. It's not her grandson.
That's still her child. Can somebody put this on that back there, please? Because I see more folk coming in, praise the Lord. But to be able to share and to know each other and to know what's happening in each other's life. So when I heard, Juanita say that she was happy on one side, but on the other side, she was sad. And part of the reason that question was in here was because I knew that it's not all about joy, that there are some people who have some sadness in their life, and we need to be able to address that as individuals. One of the things that
I just wanted to echo, Sean in the chat, so she echoed Juanita's sentiment about being more visible in the community and offering more professional development opportunities, also connecting with younger women
yes,
to get them involved. You should consider show things like it'd be greater to have an internship program or something for younger women.
yes, and one of the things, and I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna stop doing the member reflections in a second, unless somebody has something very pressing that they want to say. But one of the things that I happen to like about this particular location, and I hope you guys will approve of having some of our meetings or the majority of our meetings here and trying to figure out what we're gonna do for food. Because we can't, we can't do that. We're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do and how we're going to do it. And somebody has volunteered to take care of hospitality and whatever, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see how that gonna work. But then we all work with them, because one of the things that I think, I see a marvelous buffet of food over there. And it's been provided by the members, okay? But I also want us to, get into the habit that whatever it is that you brought tonight, we're gonna have to start doing a in-kind statement. Because when it comes time to do taxes and folks are saying we ain't putting in no money, but actually we did, how have you done what you did if you didn't have no money? There's a thank you bag out there, but we'll work on that, because, the church will handle that. But having said that, that's part of this conversation, and I do realize that I need to keep this party moving. Is there anybody who has anything very pressing that they want to share as a reflection? And because this is being taken, yes, ma'am, Ms. Shirley, that's
Just, I do, and picking up on what Juanita is saying. And I noticed that this Saturday, September 20th, what do we have planned for that? Because, there are so many people who are hungry in the community. I mean, we have people coming to our church. And, I make sure there's boxes of food there. If they're hungry, they can take the food and that kind of stuff. And, there's a ton more homeless people too. Maybe we should, I don't know, what are your plans?
when we get to the calendar, we can go over exactly what those plans are, and on that particular date, if I remember correctly. The Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank will be here. As
Here at this location.
at this location, they are coming to us so that we. Some of the things that are on the calendar and some of the things that we are required to do, our goals and objectives are all tied back to the state president. Sarah Kitchen. And her, it's in your paperwork, and it is on page.
That means that I have to.
Bear with me for a second. If you look at page 5, in that handout that I gave you. And I apologize for jumping ahead, but we're gonna jump over there so I can try to explain where some of the goals and objectives come. Our goals and objectives are not ours. Our goals and objectives have been given to us. We are part of a state organization. And so these are the goals and objectives. These are the same way that Ms. Marita has responded, that Ms. Bonnie has responded, that Ms. Diane has responded, that all your presidents in the past have responded. They have responded to the goals and the objectives of those folks who are at the top. It is always described as a contest, that you're entering a contest, and you tell me contest, and I said, okay, that's great, but this is us fulfilling the goals and objectives of our state president. Our state president, her platform is on hunger. And so she's doing Hunger Free Pennsylvania, and she's encouraging us to do things that are related to hunger. I apologize for cutting off part of my thoughts when I was talking about Marty spending on Saturday. I would love for this group to go to her building over wherever it is in the West End and do something with those seniors over there in terms of feeding them, in terms of interacting with them, so that we might be able to help bring them a modicum of joy. Because not feeding somebody is not just physically food. We need to feed the spirit as well. And so if we can go over and encourage them just by showing up. How many of you place a bid list? Okay, how many play Uno? Oh, okay, how many play hearts? Any chess or checker players? Anybody know how to throw dice? No. All I'm saying is that we can do just what you're saying, Shirley, in terms of going out and physically touching a group of people. And even in this area, and if you have a group or something that we can interact with, and oh, there she is. See that young lady in the back? Not only is she ecumenical inspirational care team person, but she is your new issues management person. Okay, and so as part of issues management and some of the contests that we need to win, straight up win. We going for the goal, you know, Sarah says her thing is running with grit. And the grit stands for growth, resilience, integrity, and tenacity. I'm sorry, there is no group that has more growth, resilience, integrity, and tenacity than the group here in Pittsburgh. So we going for all the goal, we going for the goal. So when we're looking at our goals and objectives, and because they call them contests, they're looking for creativity, imagination, they're looking for interactions with other groups, and so anything that we can throw on the table, lay on the table and make happen. And if you want to know how it really works, we got that lady sitting over there, she's the corresponding secretary. She knows because she has been keeping track of and quite often submitting some of the applications, am I correct?
Yes.
So,
Actually, one free contest.
okay, so.
Like this convention, we won for, fixed our membership, and then Shauna got an individual membership, people bringing in the most members last year.
Okay, okay.
And we won for our workshops that we were having.
And we're going for the gold again. There is no group that is better than Pittsburgh, I'm sorry. And if you look on that page 5, you'll see the goal, well, actually, you'll see who the officers are and their theme at the state level as well as at the district level, because it's us, then we go to District 3. Our district director is Janet Worden, and our president at the state level is Sarah Kitchen. And just as a note of how bad we are, I'm talking about BPW, we're bad to the bone. All of the top PA officers are out of district 3. Wow. Okay, and what district are we? 3. On now. Come on now. So I just happen to think that we're all of that in a bag of chips. Okay, I didn't bring the chips, but that's what we are. All right. Okay. Anybody else with a memory reflection? Yes.
She just saw it. Good. Roxanne put something in the chat.
Roxanne, I needed to regarding the.
No, we're all that in a bag of chips. So you just pass it on to someone else. We don't have any chips, but we do.
That's how bad we are. That's not bad. It's just they hot chips. And they hot. All right.
Said someone mentioned.
What Roxanne was just echoing what you said about regarding younger women getting involved.
Yes. And to some of that, and I don't want to, I'm gonna try my best not to jump too far ahead, but Tashana is our young careers and personal and professional development chair here for us, and she is also the personal and professional development chair and the young careers chair for District 3. And it is my hope that we will be able to implement a young careers contest. Hear me, Tashana? Here in our local. I don't know what it involves, but I believe that it's something we need to do. We also need, let me stop. Can I?
Came out here, but we can't hear.
I beg your pardon?
She came out of me, but we couldn't hear her.
I don't know how to do none of that work, that's all.
I just said that I heard her. That's all.
Oh, you heard that? Okay. Oh, I heard you. Okay. Joanne, would you share some brief comments? And I do realize that you're gonna share some things again on Monday. And it's up to you what you share in terms of the treasurer's report, because I do know that some bank statements just came in, so I don't know what the like what you need to do. And in particular, I'm very interested in how many members still need to pay, because we, right here, because we have some deadlines that we need to meet by next week.
Okay, briefly, as of July 31st, 2005, our combined savings account is at $19,256.88. In reserve, within 2 accounts, scholarship and a regular savings. So in reserve is $3,025, which takes our balance down to 16,000. Right, takes us down to about 16,400. But that 16,400 is what we've got to work for with the scholarship. Last year, and the scholarship that ran us, actually ran in the whole. We paid for everything because we get money from them, but we did make a very good profit. I always look at how much profit, what you're gonna need to give you a nice, not only a nice spot next year, but year after. I'm always looking at it that way. District 3 meeting, District 3, we have, as of right now, that probably will be going up. We have to write 2 checks. One for District 3, 204, and then, $30, to the state for our District 3. Our checking account is $80,575.46. With the dues written, it's $40. We spend our money. We need to make sure. By the way, the little basket out there. Please put your money in there. Thank you for the food.
Next,
Pay for
passing
and
it
all
out.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's basically it. We have been making decisions for the event. Okay, so we have some money to work with, but I'm always thinking, we don't have to push.
Yeah, I'll bring this out next time. Okay. I see Miss Marcia stepped out the room, but I think she stepped out the room. Here's my phone.
And thank you for doing that.
I'm quite a few phones. Okay. So I mean, what you can do also is there's like. If you would be so kind. Or what you do is to give the membership chairperson your. I can pay for you, I promise. Yeah. Yeah.
He said, you know, we.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Is there a meeting going on in the room next door to you?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, is there a meeting going on in the room next door to you?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, because it's very difficult for me to hear you. I can hear them better than I can hear you all.
They're way out the door. Okay, please give the membership chair your attention for a few minutes. So, the 21st of.
One of the things that we have done over the summer,
Can you hear her at home?
they're just saying.
Say her name.
I'm sorry.
It's hard, but I'm making it work. Go ahead.
I am Marsha Hobbs Johnson. And I have been appointed as the membership chair for this year. And I would probably be talking to almost everybody in this room because we shall have a committee and we shall do things to increase our membership. Over the summer, one of the things we did, we went to the Heinz Museum because we actually had archives of all of our documents back to 1944. And we were looking for our originating documents. There's a wealth of information there. Yeah, field trip. We had talked about trying to get a group of people or all of us at some point to go to the museum to see what we had. Another thing that I learned about BPW, we are so much bigger than just our local organization. We talk about the district, we talk about the state. There is BPW Foundation that has scholarships. They have grants for people who, if you're having hardships, pay your bills or whatever. There's BPW National. They have a 50-something page monthly magazine. If you have a business, you can put ads in there. There's $85, 5,000 people. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, $85 for a full page ad.
Wow.
And you get $85 for a full page ad and you get 5,000 people.
You're sharing that link in our email?
Yes, please. Yeah. There it is. I'm trying to get more information on national because it is a separate membership that we will have to pay for. I don't think it's that much, but for what we get back, it more than pays for itself. They have the monthly magazine, they have mentoring, they have health insurance for paid members. There is an online business directory where you can put your business on the directory.
Wow.
5,000 people.
Wow.
How big is your network? My
Yeah.
network has 5,000 people.
Yes, yes. So there's a lot that we don't know, or we are still finding out about BPWs. I'll absolutely share. I'm like in my glory because I love finding out information and sharing it with people. So this is one of the things that I like. Definitely we'll have more information for everybody. And like I said, I'll be talking to everybody in this room because we need to make our local chapter bigger, and we also need to look at benefits so that when we tell people what we do in the past, we're giving them all that information.
Somebody snatched me one of those off. One of the things that I wanna say or need to say is that what we are and what we have been from what I found out, and that's how we wound up going and saying, oh, you say back in 1919, when BPW was formed, the folks in the city of Pittsburgh were part of the organizing committee. And I'm making this up because there's still a whole stack of papers I need to read. But when it was first formed, there were at least 2 women from the city of Pittsburgh who helped to form the state. And then after the state was formed, then they began to put clubs in different cities or towns and what have you. And I believe Erie was created before we were, but in April of 1924, the Pittsburgh was officially founded. But looking at the history and the records is what set, I'm gonna say, us off on this tangent of, what about the national, what about the international? Because we know that we're part of the district, we know we're part of the state. And if you look at any of the documentations, you'll see the National Foundation of Business and Professional Women with a C on the end of it. That's the National Foundation, it's Professional Women's Club. And we are part of that because we are part of that original founding. But what I discovered is that since our dues stop at the state, the question is, if we want to become completely affiliated with the national, how far is that? And at what point did the folk in the room say, well, we ain't paying another $50, we can stop right here? And I discovered from talking to some of the officers who are currently serving at the state level, they have all joined the national because we can write a check right now. You write a check, you can write your personal check tonight, and you can instantly become a member of the national. My question as your president is, how does our whole club? Is there a club application to go with this? Can we register as a club? And then to discover that next year, by the way, is the
the biannual conference of the national, so we need to go to that, just like when you go to the state.
Yeah.
And because they have all these scholarships, and I have been instructed to make sure. Are there any other school teachers in the room? Okay, I have been instructed to make sure that Miss Juanita Bryant fills out a scholarship application and has it turned in by next week. Okay, I got it straight from the folk at the district and the state. They said, because the money is sitting there and the same person, you need to hear this, same person gets the money, it's in here.
Wow.
It's in your newsletter. Y'all know the newsletter?
No,
Wait, okay, it's in the newsletter. Okay, but
We didn't know.
But again, it's not that it's hidden.
Right.
It's just we have so much information that we can't tap into all of it. And when you consider that this is a voluntary organization, ain't nobody getting paid up in here. No. Even though I'm gonna work you like a Hebrew slave or like a pig, ain't nobody getting paid up in here. But the information is out there. We just need to keep searching, and there's so much of it, and it's so rich. But if you need help filling out that application, so we can get you that money.
No, I knew about the scholarship, because they mentioned when we read the convention, but they've always been geared towards teachers and teach STEM. And the
Yes,
technology, but they
But
added.
I'm gonna explain to you how STEM, STEAM, and STREAM work, so you can get that money.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, it's shit, no joke, she means that.
Okay. Okay, and you sit next to the ultimate grant right there. Okay, and I interpret words like nobody's business. So now, we can snip them words.
Right here.
You said, it's a grant writer.
No, excuse me, but in like, this is a grant writer right here.
Oh,
Yeah,
one there, one over there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm
And part of that is why I wanted us to change this kind of environment so that we can literally sit across the table and quiz one. That's great. Yeah, so you go to print last week. Yeah, okay, so tell me how do I write now? The information is here. So that application, you go in and out. Okay?
Now, where did you go to go on?
If you
know
know
about it.
it's on mine, and I'll prove it, and if you can't figure out how to steam it, you'll screen that out for you.
I'll scream it out for you.
And it is.
She is that for a job, I said, and she needs that. And I made her sit there, and I put her through the quiz, because she said, I can't do this, and yes, she can. And tell me, here's the questions, tell me the answers. Because you are highly qualified, you're all capable of doing this, and if you need encouragement, I'm here to encourage you. Okay, so we're gonna stem and stream that, okay, now, I need you, and I realize that the time is of the essence, and I'm not trying to keep you here all night, but these are the things that your help in particular is needed with. If you look at page 3, Tashana and Roxanne on page 3, hospitality chair, please take off that second name. Donna Terry is the only one that has actually confirmed. I forgot to inquire before I put that name on there. So please, if you look, you'll see to be determined. I found out as I read that.
I was gonna say, I saw that one to be determined about the vendors here. I'll ask my mother's from vendors here.
And what I really want your mother to answer to is annual Elliott Award chair.
Oh, for one Elliot, okay.
Okay, and if your mom wishes to chair the vendor affair, that would be great, but in particular, because of connecting the familiar connection. I would really like to see your mother chair that, because I want to make sure that as we perpetuate the legacy of Commander Elliott, that we are doing it correctly, and I know that yes, ma'am.
I would like to, chair the, was done and for the phone, say,
Somebody write it down.
I got it, I got it.
And
I'm gonna pick her up, so I'll ask her.
write that down. But if you look on that page, you'll see the to be determined. Another very important one is gonna be that bylaws. The ex officio, Judy, I know that you and Joanne both are willing to chair that, but looking at the bylaws, you guys are ex officio officers on that, and so we need somebody else to actually chair it, because they are going to be looking at what you guys are doing, because you are the financial secretary and she's the actual treasurer. But
So you need a bylaws chair and to work with these two?
no,
No, you don't.
I need a bylaws chair. Period, because I have to turn that into the state. The items that are on the top half before you get to the 2025-26 local committee chairs, all of that stuff at the top has to be turned into the state. And it should have been turned into the state a month ago. I've turned in preliminarily what you see on that page, and I have promised that I will get the rest of it to them, at the end of this week. Either repeating names or doubling names and because we have to identify somebody for each of those positions, okay? And need to identify and make sure that we know how our website is gonna be done. When I called Miss Diane to talk to her, that was when I discovered that she had death in the family, and I did not feel that was an opportune time to be talking about some BPW, do you wanna do the website? Okay, but try being in key, we need to be writing articles, and I know we have some prolific folk in here. We can do some articles and we will look at what's in the tri-B, because that's our state newspaper and our district newspaper and our state district publications. So we want to have articles here. I don't want us not to be represented inside of those documents, because I know you both got the talent and the skills. With the BOTY new member chair is the person who's going to help us uncover within our own local organization who the woman of the year is, the business of the year is, and who our new member of the year is. Those individuals should, of course, be members of the Pittsburgh chapter, if we're going to recommend them, and then special projects and programs. Now, one of those sets of pages that I gave you where you have all of those, that long definitions of the job descriptions, I went into the BPW websites and I found the descriptions for the different, at the top it says committee and officer roles and descriptions, that goes from pages 8 to 14. Those are, for the most part, because there's nothing worse than saying what you asked me to do, what you mean, Willis. And so, what you mean, Willis, is on pages 8 to 14. Now, don't let it scare you half to death. Right, Stacey?
Yeah.
One of the things that you will discover, or you probably already have, is that I'm anal. Yes, ma'am.
I only have one packet. There were 2 years.
You don't have one that says, office.
Yeah, that's one she did. Yeah, I think I'm really just.
Okay. I tried to, so in order for us to be able to identify and to get somebody to be in these roles, I tried to make sure that here's a description of what you're expected to do. And believe it or not, it's not that difficult. There's a lot of pretty words in there. I write pretty. I don't know if I'm gonna tell you, I can write it the best of them. So, but these are the words that came out of the BPW websites in terms of what these job descriptions are that they had in terms of what it is that excuse me, that we're doing and how we need to be doing. So those are the open positions. If you know folk and you want to recommend folk, and if you get some folk on the phone that you know are quite capable of doing this, And wanna have them call me so we can turn this in by Friday, that would be tomorrow, yes, ma'am,
Based off of this,
yes.
there's something missing in the scrapbook.
Okay, I'll add it, thank you, because that's another one of those, so that needs to be added to the local committee chair. And the legacy scrapbook is because of the trip to the Heinz.
Yeah.
When we went to the Heinz and they pulled out the scrapbook. It was awesome, it was, I mean, to see, oh, we gotta come up with what date we all gonna wear them big hats. What date we all gonna, I mean, we had fun, okay, and looking at the pictures, you can see that not only were they, making inroads so that we're standing on their shoulders, okay? Today is, August 26th, this is the day that the 19th Amendment was actually ratified. This is the day that gave us the right to vote, even though there are some folk right now who are trying to take back that right to vote from women. There's a gentleman in Moscow, Idaho, his name is Doug Williams. He believes that women should not have the right to vote, and that there should only be one vote per household. And if you happen to be in a household without a man, that's just y'all know that, because that means they don't have the right to vote. So we need to be thankful for those women that stood in line, wore them big hats. You know, had them tea parties, wore their gloves, you know, and at the same time was slaying dragons on our behalf. They had grit. They had integrity. They did what they needed to do in order to make sure that we had the power and the ability to stand on their legacy. And so we need to keep pushing that forward. The other thing that's on there, one of the key ones that's on there, and I don't know if there's somebody that you know that's in the group that might like young people, but that math counts and that junior BPW, and the reason that's in parentheses is because one of the things I discovered by going to the Heinz History Center. To Shauna, remember you were talking about how you wanted to start a junior BPW and folks told you no, we can't do that. I'm so sorry, they did it way back then. So we ain't inventing the wheel, we're just reclaiming it.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is just do what we do. And the same thing with the things that we might need to do with the seniors or whatever. We need to claim our communities and see what we can do. I don't gamble. But we don't start gambling up in here. I'm just saying, please look at that list and again, you know, anybody that you can get me a name for by Friday, so before Friday, so I can turn this in, that would be marvelous. Because I still have to turn it in, might have some fake names in there, I might have Jamie Doe and Sally Moe listed, as somebody to contact, but of course I gotta actually give them a real name, address, phone number and email and all that good stuff. Please turn, if you will, and look at, I'm running out of time, and look at the dates. And let me try to explain the dates, and as I explain the dates, I am really also explaining the goals and the objectives. Because those goals and the objectives that we have are directly tied to the dates that we have been given by the district and the state. And again, I sent this to all of the executive committee members. If anybody would like to have a copy of this 110-page book, I would be happy to give it to you. Please let Ms. Marshall know that you want a copy of this, and I sent it to you already.
I know, but I need it. Yeah, email it. Okay,
And here's the question, because it is 110 pages, it is a lot of printing. The real question becomes, should I take this over to School for the Deaf and our book would pay to have it a copy made? That, you know, that would be a question. But this is our playbook. I mean, the dates are in there, every name, address, and phone number is in there. You got it too, or what? I sent it to everybody. I sent it to everybody on the executive committee.
I have mine printed up. I have the book all by itself.
Some that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of paper, but it's a lot of information.
Right.
And the information that's in there is where this calendar came from. If you look on page 4, page 4 is the calendar. At the top of our list, of course, I would like to have our meetings here. Does anyone have a serious objection to having the meetings here?
No, I'm totally fine. That time is great. I'm happy to bring salad.
I'm happy to bring some,
You know.
Okay,
So I'm good with that.
So we need to coordinate with Ms. Jill and Ms. Donna, on how we're gonna conclude, and in particular, what we're gonna have next week for my birthday. You know, cause we got one on the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, you know, party over where. Anyway.
As you mentioned birthdays, one of the things that I did, because I was actually going to acknowledge birthdays every month. I can't acknowledge everyone because a lot of birthdays are missing from our database.
Yes.
So. No, we don't need to hear, we don't need to hear.
Please turn to page 4, because page 4 literally is the outline of our goals and our objectives. And if you look briefly at page 5, so if you look at page 5, you'll see at the top where it has the information for the state, and then there's 2 dates under there. You come down to District 3 on page 5, and then you'll see 4 dates that are listed there. Those are the events that we, as members of District 3 and as part of the state, are supposed to be going to. Everything that's held at the district as well as the state level, we are eligible to go to. Whether it's an executive meeting or a regular meeting, we are welcome at all of them. There are 2 events, and a lot of you have participated, in particular at the fall thingamajiggy and spring thing where y'all had the tea party and the high tea and the low tea, you know, y'all look it down. I saw, you know, all that blue and gold and black. Okay. Those are the dates. If you turn back to page 4, I have attempted to incorporate those dates into one calendar. Okay, so it's not like you look at page 5 and you say, well, I gotta go back and add page 5 to what's on page 4. What's on page 5 is already on page 4. Starting at the top, I am recommending that we start and have our social hour from 5 to 6. So all you folks who got up at 6, I'm sorry, at 5:50 to go get your plate. Next time, please get your plate at 5:10. Okay, so that at 6, we can actually hit the magical gavel and we can start, because one of the things about this particular location is they close promptly. That young man that we just fed, that little baby boy, he had to take him home, so he go to school.
You can take him home.
And UPMC Center closes promptly at 8 p.m. in the evening. And so by 8 p.m., that means not only should we be out of here, that means we've cleaned up, wrapped up, which is why I say our meetings need to end by 7:30, so that we can do the cleanup, the wrap up, and get out so that he can go home and be with his family. Yes, ma'am.
Now, one of the things I do like about us going to the golf course is that we are supporting small business. He's been very kind to us.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that we can do at least a couple of meetings there just to support that business that's been good to us.
We can, one of let's go down through the list, because in particular, I'm going to say in my head, Tuesday, March the 3rd. Definitely, because that's our unhappy hour. And I'm hoping that it is still daylight. Is it daylight in March?
Depends on when they
Like
Okay, but nevertheless, let's go through this, and we can, any dates that you don't want, if you don't want to meet here, it's a group decision, okay?
I have an idea with the supporting, maybe organize some kind of fundraiser and have it there. Does that work? Does that work?
Any support for any small business is always good.
And we have the names, and I'm gonna encourage you guys to get the names that they have of the local caterers, the small independent business caterers that can come and to serve food. Because if we can come up with a menu, let's say this month or next month, and then we know that every member needs to contribute $5 or $10. I think it was pointed out to me that on average, when we go to Austin's, we're spending a minimum of $20, and that's if we don't have nothing but French fries and water, which I quite often have because I can't eat food. Because it's Italian and it's tomato based and, you know, and so.
That's not a problem. So your average, like to be able to spend perhaps $10 per plate. I think.
You guys-
We definitely.
Okay,
That,
yeah, I just wanted to get an idea.
again, and $10 a plate, shucks, I could kill for that, but, you know,
Yeah.
I'll even give up my bag of chicken. All I'm saying is, and because, Omar and Sharon, gave me some cards. I have no idea what I did for them, giving me a card is like, okay, thank you. You know, of all these local caterers that come here and will set up. So if you have local caterers and.
I have a message. You got that.
Yeah.
But I'll get suggestions from the group, y'all know how to reach me.
And that, and if we have, I'm curious, but we don't know each other. Do we have a caterer in our own list? You understand what you said? We may have one and we just don't know it.
We do, but sometimes, I'll check with it. I'll check with it.
We do have one in our list.
We do.
But in the spirit of what you said about small business, it would be great if we are able to do some tastings of these other caterers. I got these 3 that I want to give you.
Yeah.
That
Well,
would
I
help
don't know
that.
about tasting. Because of what I'm hoping is that the member that recommends them has already tasted. That's very expensive. Tastings are very expensive.
Well, I was only just saying that you still need to know if you can like food. This is what I like it.
Well,
I mean,
trust
everybody else
me,
can like it.
trust me. I think based on your recommendation.
All right, I'm gonna ask that the hospitality, protocol and hospitality committee can ask for volunteers to join their committee.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go back to this, cause I gotta, what you call it, drop dead time, yes, ma'am.
Are you gonna take a vote on the location?
I believe we have four.
Yeah.
I believe we should wait until the meeting.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I don't know.
You mean that our regular?
So we have a regular meeting?
This is not our regular.
Don't be
Start
meeting,
saying it.
right? I'll be meeting here next time.
Next week. It's our.
We're gonna be here.
Okay.
So we're gonna be here next Tuesday.
We'll
Well,
vote.
then let's just do it on Tuesday.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
However, what I need to know from you folks, please look at page 4. The Tuesday dates are there with the exception of the month of November. If you also look at October 21st. October 21st is the National Business Women's Week. And on October 21st, the reason our meeting is October 21st is because it is literally during National Business Women's Week. And again, goals and objectives. The calendar was literally laid out according to the goals and objectives of the state. The state says that we need to have an event associated with, for instance, hunger. We already had the date. Marita has scheduled us for September the 20th. During our executive committee meetings, we said, well, we already got UPMC on September the 20th. One of our goals and objectives is that we have to do something related to hunger, so that we can check that off. And so we said, great, then we are going to have a hunger awareness day on September the 20th, and that way we can check that off of our list. In terms of our goals and objectives, and it's also, the way I'm coming to understand it, that it will be documented as a contest of some sort, depending on what we do and how many pictures we take and all of that other stuff. If you come down to October 21st, that is National Business Women's Week.
Yep.
Since we have to have something during National Business Women's Week, in addition to whatever meetings we have. If I remember last year, we got phone calls because, Marita was able to get us a proclamation from the city, I believe it was, or county. And so folk showed up downtown in order to get the picture so that we could win the contest for National Business Women's Week. And, it's like, why don't we just have our meeting during that week? Schedule, speakers and things that will happen. Our district director informed me that she is coming in October.
Wow.
That was the date that she selected, was October, and I was like, well, why don't you come during National Business Women's Week? Okay, so we're killing again. The required visit from our district director, the requirement that we have something for National Business and, National Business Women's Week, all at the same time, by having a meeting on October, the 21st. November the 1st, I want you to please notice. That is the date that is currently set for the vendor bash. Marita scheduled that date. For November the 1st, and November the 1st also happens to be a date that I'm gonna say we are required, but if you guys don't go, I have to go, or Cindy has to go, we both have to go. But they generally are inviting the entire club to come out on November 1st, because that evening, I guess, is like that spring tea thing that you guys went to. Except this is the fall one, and so on Saturday, November 1st, if nobody else knows, I have to go. And that is the date that you guys have chosen to have the holiday vendor bash.
So that's the district meeting here.
That's
That's the district meeting here.
Right.
That's different than the tea meeting.
Okay.
No, this is the fall meeting,
Right,
and the spring meeting is also that tea party, isn't it?
no,
No, the spring meeting is the District 3 meeting, and that tea party is a fundraiser.
So
For
are
one
you
of the
telling
local-
are you telling me the tea
members.
party ain't even on this list?
no, if the tea party is a Latrobe, chapter. Local.
Okay, so all I'm saying is, if you look at page 4, then that tea party you guys went to is not part of this list, am I correct?
It should not be.
Okay,
No, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't.
and that's
Not
okay.
us.
That's okay, look, my knowledge is this big, okay? And all I knew was that the same group of people, but nevertheless, so Saturday, November the 1st, Margarita scheduled the holiday vendor bash for this location. I think that all the dates are taken,
Yeah,
in the month of November. The month of November also causes a problem in the sense that the first Tuesday of the month is election day. The second Tuesday of the month is, a Veterans Day. The third Tuesday of the month is the day, 2 days before Thanksgiving. The fourth Tuesday of the month, the party's over. So my question of you, which is where you'll see that to be determined 2025 November to election and Veterans Day, is are we having a meeting? If we're having a meeting, is it a virtual meeting? And is there a date that anybody can think of that might work? Yes, ma'am.
We've always had our meetings on election days. Election, what I'm saying, is election day was never interfered with our meetings, I remember, yeah, cause.
We're talking about the
Yeah.
Didn't we move it? Didn't we?
Last year.
No, she did not.
We did,
That's
because
where-
Yeah.
There are little stickers and people say, did you vote?
But unfortunately, leaving in this role, I'm a dental. Every.
Yeah.
Let me just say this to everyone, there are days you will not be able to attend. It's just
My question is, are we having a meeting on November the?
Required to vote or what?
What is that date? November 2nd, maybe?
No, it's 6 or 7, because first is. First is Saturday.
Saturday.
So November the second, absolutely. That looks like work, so.
Yeah.
So
So
that,
that-
in
I said-
November, we moved our meeting
Yeah.
to the following Tuesday, on the 12th. We didn't have a meeting on election day.
No, we didn't.
It did not.
Is that right?
See, but here we may not have, but what I'm saying is that that has not always been the case.
I thought that we have a Zoom meeting. I suggest that we have a Zoom
I think
meeting,
that's a better idea.
and that way, you let everybody, and then we can kind of review what's going on. I'd say have the Zoom meeting, and the vote was really
I
important.
mean, if you use my Zoom account, I have AI companion on my account. And all of the minutes just comes.
So she's
On AI. Oh, yours does too, okay. So then it's yours.
I can do that on mine too, not if I'm on there, you make me co-host, I can still be on and get the minutes that way too.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have a question. I'm not familiar yet with our forum and how that works as far as if it's executive, certain decisions are made by the executive committee, or is everything made by the general body, including the executive committee? Because it seems like changing the meeting needs to have a vote to, if we're gonna change it. And then my suggestion is, especially based off of, if we changed it last year because of election day, just thinking of someone like myself, who may be running at 6 o'clock to go vote.
Yeah, true.
Why don't we change it this year, like last year, to the Veterans Day and maybe make it the virtual or whatever Veterans Day activity?
And let me make this statement, and this becomes one of the bylaw kind of issues. Showing that, yeah, it's a bylaw. Because I can change, I don't need anybody's permission to change or cancel a meeting. Okay, the issue is that I'm trying to make sure that if a meeting is changed or canceled, that the majority of the people are on board with it. But, you know, it's looking at the documents that I pulled down, it literally states that the president can do that. The president can change or cancel a meeting, you know, based on the bylaw.
We still want to do this.
Okay, all I'm trying to do is make sure that I am inclusive of everybody's opinions, everybody's schedules, because part of the reason, I live by schedule, I live by calendar. But if I open my phone, my calendar is already packed and I have appointments all the way to May of next year. So I already know what days I'm available and what days I'm not available. So this is not, you know, this is. Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
make a suggestion about that November meeting, since people have issues with election day? Why don't we do it on Veterans Day and then have some kind of tribute to veterans? I mean, we can do it by Zoom, maybe we can get a veteran speaker or something for it. Okay, we have a veteran speaker, we have a veteran
I'm
speaker.
sure we got a room full of veterans.
Yes. You know, well, you know,
Okay, so what is Veterans Day? What is Veterans Day?
say the 11th.
Okay, so and I'm looking for consensus from this group. This November the 11th work for you.
What's
Yeah,
open?
it works for me.
What is open though, Doc? What facility is open?
We'll find out, we'll know tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I heard one suggestion was that we utilize Zoom. I mean, I would love to.
That's the two.
And who knows, maybe the 11th, if this place is closed because it's Veterans Day.
It may be.
Then that may be our auspice visit. And who knows, maybe they'll feed all you veterans for free like they normally do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna hang out with the veteran, I'm with her. Okay, so November the 11th is the suggested date for that.
Tuesday. Yeah.
And would you alternatively then have a all-Zoom meeting if you're not getting consensus?
I can say it again.
Would you alternatively have the all-Zoom meeting if you couldn't get a consensus on?
Correct. And we can, but what I'm trying to do is that by Tuesday, to be able to produce and say, here, vote, here's the calendar. Of the things that are on our schedule that we need to do for next year. So if November the 11th, even if it becomes a Zoom meeting
Mhm.
and you're at home, at least you know that our November meeting is November the 11th. Cindy, will that work for you?
We'll make it work. A
Okay.
lot of times when people got that day off, they got to take Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the right day off, but it's all good.
Okay.
Make it work.
All right, again, on the other dates and the ones that have stars by them are dates that, you know, I'll say locations, location, location, location. And, possibly Faith Stevens is our chairperson for the luncheon this year. So Faith is looking for volunteers, and I know she's also looking at locations. And so hopefully by the October meeting, we will have a location, for our Linda A. Cobb Scholarship Luncheon. The other thing, and again, I don't gamble, I don't know how it works, and they're close.
No, they're open, it's not bad.
Okay. The when they did the Valentine buy a lottery ticket thing, which you did last year, I gave my tickets to Christopher. And told him to get rid of them for me because I didn't have to do in the world with what I was doing. But I think, and I'm not sure, this is something that maybe we can check on Tuesday. I think that a profit was made from selling those winning the lottery tonight. They don't-
Yeah, the raffle.
Yeah. And so since we are a club that is in need of money, because we are on the, make sure I say this right. This is the last year of a $15,000 endowment that, or grant that you guys got from the closing of the Presbyterian Church in Mount Washington. The one that, Bonnie serves and that, Joanne attended. So I think, I can't remember if it's the last 3,000 or the last 3,000. So we need to begin to make sure that we have money, that money is going into the coffers. And so, when I was sitting in my little shallow brain, and again, I don't gamble. So I'm not really the one to say how this works or if it works. But it sounded good to me, because when they said they made this, this, and this, and this, and you know, you got this for Valentine's Day. And since we're not doing anything now in December. Could we have, or
Juanita loves doing that.
I can't hear you.
Juanita loves that Bradford project. Juanita, that's who handled it last year. That February Valentine's Day project. She enjoys doing it. She's very good at it. So I would just maybe either make a phone call or ask her.
Okay, but that's who did it.
That's who did it last year, and she made sure all of us got our tickets, and she, you know, she was very, and she just likes that.
Okay, my question though, and we need a fundraising chairperson. That's one of the,
If I may offer, I will do bylaws. I'll do bylaws, Chair. Do you have all of that material you can do? I mean, you've not necessarily tonight. Oh, okay. Okay, you're ready. I'll take it. Do what I can do.
you know how they say, you ain't said nothing but a word. I appreciate it. So Shirley, I have you down for bylaws and nominations.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, I appreciate that. But we need a fundraising chair, because the fundraising chairperson is the person that really needs to be looking to see, you know, what we can do and how we can do it and where we can do it, et cetera. I know that we have some offers, for locations, you know, there's a church in Hills that we can go to, in order to do things. We can go visit Marley's Bennett at her facility, her senior building, over wherever that senior building is, and I really want to go over and thank you. But because talking with her and, it was sort of like, hey, what can we do to help you? And she said a lot. You know, the seniors in that building need a lot, because they don't just need food.
Right.
they need to be fed, you know, emotionally, spiritually, you know, having their spirit something. So, as we deal with the hunger issues, those are it. Okay, coming down to the local priorities. The next major committee that really needs to be staffed is a governance and compliance. We need to go back in time and we need to redo some of our taxes. I am looking for, and I need to go downtown. I'm saying I had time to do it. After the visit to the Hines went through, helped us to go through the records, and we found a lot of originating documents. The federal government is requiring some additional originating documents, and they have pointed to a location. I don't remember the city hall or whatever it is, but it's the same one of the emails they sent. Saying go here and tell us you want to see 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, and so that would be the next step. But making sure that we are revising our bylaws, and that we are doing what is necessary according to what the state says and the district says, because the district knows that we have some tax issues that we need to straighten out. And so therefore, they have been working with us in order to get the information. And so that's what that local BPW priorities are. And then in terms of the historical documents, the governance and compliance, finding that original charter, dealing with the 501c3, dealing with the taxes, which is the 99, and the bylaws and the financing. Those are what I see as, I'll say, my main priorities, in addition to encouraging folks to, you know, show up at the meetings. Let's go represent, you know, over here. Let's stand up and go picture here, et cetera, et cetera. But those are my, I'll say, local priorities, to make sure that we continue to exist for another 100+ years, because I think it's some bad management. I really do. I mean, and when I saw what was there, and then when I discovered our history and how we were interconnected and doubly connected, and looking at what District 3 has done as a group, and I'm not sure, and I could be completely incorrect, I'm not sure if the members of District 3 who are now officers at the state, I'm not sure if they're not all out of the same local. You know, I mean, it's like we could all ascend and do different things. I also want to say that the Wild Apricot is our state website, and you can go Wild Apricot, BPWPGH WildApricot.org. I don't know, whatever. Look in the newsletter, because if you click on that link, it says how to go to the roster. I forget what I said in the newsletter, but whatever it says in that newsletter, if you click on that, you will discover that you suddenly, once you register for your website, that you already have the page your dues. That
WILD.
Wow.
Yes.
It's called Wild Apricot. But if you go out there to Wild Apricot, you will then gain access to the roster. You can look things up and see yourself. We get the buzz every week, and we get there's a tri-beam, there's a key, there's all of these resources, and as business and professional women, we need to be tapping into all of those resources. And then once you tap into that, then you discover that you got a grant because I couldn't pay my rent. Oh, you got a grant because I got a child that's going. You got there's a scholarship that. Oh, you saying that you have a mentor? I have a sister. I have I have a sunshine sister now. Because and I could not figure out how to say everybody needs to sign up for a sunshine sister, but it was in the buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the buzz. But if you are like me half the time, I'm like, I had time to read this, and you let it go. But there is some great information in there. And it's really great information if you are in the process of running a business and trying to do business, because you will discover how big your network really is. Your network is not just the 69 or 90 people that we have here in this club. Your network at the state level is probably at least a few thousand. Because we are part of the Pennsylvania BPW. And then if you tap into the next level up, then your network grows to 5,000. And if you tap into that next level up, then tap into the internet, and we're gonna find out what it is and how it is and what it costs. And because I'm fascinated at how much is available to us as business and professional women. Even that equal pay day that we're gonna celebrate in March, that was done internationally. And it was first done as an international, whatever. And we need to know, Pittsburgh was at the first international BPW event. We are all of that in a bag of. I want to thank you. I want to make sure that, remember the next meeting is September the 2nd. We're gonna start at 5, meeting will start approximately at 6. Please come early enough to get your food so that at 6:00 we do what we need to do. And then we can finish by 7:30. I am suggesting that we need to get some kind of call drama going to verify who's going to be in attendance. Particularly since we are not in the process of ordering off of a venue. So put food on the table, we want to make sure, we have enough to be, that we're not being wasteful. So the freshman committee is at work. So we're gonna do our network and our gathering activities and Miss Vice President, is it something you wanna say?
I will bring the birthday cake to that meeting for all September birthdays. Okay, so now she wants.
We have something for you.
I'm in love with the hospitality committee already. All right. And I am going to say, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I know you're still doing the meeting, but I just wanted to say, be sure that we get our picture in before everyone.
Oh,
arrives
yeah,
there.
you go, I'll be sure. I'll be in trouble, I got in trouble on Saturday.
The other thing too is, next week when we come to the meeting, if one of the things that they're requiring of us is to sign a photo release, because I guess we're everywhere and in everything, so we'll have the photo release forms next week.
And if you go on Facebook and you put anything out there and it has anything to do with BPW, please do hashtag because of BPW.
I need to. From 1 to 14, 1 to 12. So listen, while I need you.
One number.
One number.
Number 9.
Who's got number 9? Okay. So.
Wow.
So let me, yeah, but it's not what you think it is. So let me tell you.
You're right, surprise,
Ticking.
Sure it's not ticking.
Listen, guys, and not all talk at once. We want you to know as a committee that we think there should be an incentive when people come to the meetings. That's just what we like. We can't be hospitable to people through Zoom. And that's a whole different debate, but we won't debate that. We like to see you here. We like to see you, how you feel, all that kind of stuff, right?
Amen.
So every time you come to our meetings, this committee, and anyone who wants to join us, we are going to give out some kind of something to make you say, oh, I wonder what they're giving out this meeting. So now I need you to open it up because it's gonna always be something with humor.
I wanna be on your meeting.
It's gonna always be something with humor, something with.
I swear.
No,
Stop.
those are, sticker socks. Don't take.
And they're pretty and fun.
Yes.
Yes, and so that's the kind of stuff we're gonna do to try to get you to the door. That's because we want you here. Now, in the meantime, while I got your attention, everybody come up here so we can get our picture. For the,
And I have been informed by our district that we are authorized to have a 50-50 at every meeting.
Oh, yeah, we definitely, we should.
So y'all want 50-50, I will bring the tickets on too.
All right.
So, it's like $10, you get 5.
Good.
Okay.
All right, everybody, go on, you come and take our picture.
Hey.
I was right?
Okay, guys. We're gonna get right here at the center. That's it. Look at me, there's something. Please, sit right here.
Sit off center.
Oh, okay.
There you go. There it is, there. Sit right here.
There's gotta be some proximity.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Squeeze in.
arms are fine.
Squeeze in. Hey, squeeze in.
Wait, Sean's gonna be on by way of him, by way of him.
Our people in the front, you know who people are.
All right.
If you go sideways, can you
Oh,
see
yeah,
us?
for sure.
Can you see everybody's face?
You got to sign up.
Yep, 1, 2, 3. I'll take them from down. 1, 2.
Okay, take up this place, all I got to do is drop I want to see that.
That's not, where'd you get that cake?
Is this your?
Oh, my goodness. That's not.
This is on the south side of the But your birthday is September 1st, so just kids.
I'm sure you said.
Anybody need water? It's just like going.
Okay, just face me.
I have the trash, I got trash.
Good, good. Just clean up.
Trash.
Just clean up. You got the kids.
Trash.
I'm not gonna do that now, but I could. Yeah. Yeah, I put it back.
If you gonna stay.
Where there's you are.
I know.
Go basement.
Yeah. Oh, Dale has some. There. Are you invited? If you're, it's going with you.
That light.
Yeah. Is this really going up?
I know.
You're scary.
Saying that's
Alright, yeah.
I'm gonna sign off. I hope you guys have a good night. I'll see you next week.
12.
Yeah.
Did you write a cruise out? Yeah. Okay. Do you need the bag?
Yes, I do. I know you have.
I need a bag.
No, you're right. You can take it
can get a bag out of your home.
Okay.
And something that, but yeah,
I'll say it's a lot. We're getting that.
If anybody wishes to bring anything for the meeting, inbox me or Jill, please.
yeah, let's text you need, preferably text us and just tell us what you would like to bring. Whatever you would like to bring.
Okay, we already got that.
And how many for all you got to do is check the rosters, check the membership rosters.
So I have them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What you can do is, this is the quick that I was, have you can large them up for somebody?
Yeah.
This here, file.
And then
You
you
got
got
everybody?
email addresses, but I do telephone.
You know Maureen, she knows, she deals with us daily. They say, Maureen, text me, Jill.
Can't get the table that ain't clear, so I ain't gonna bother that.
Paying y'all this year. You are not paying.
Everyone's not here, that's why.
Oh, I'm not forgetting.
Tell me your name.
Rosalind.
There's we have I consider the,
Thank you.
Or one second.
I'm gonna put myself. Okay.
I said, this will be my. Why don't you write it down
My
first?
rap.
You can put them in your.
Yeah, that's what I have to, I'm not to find out.
Joe ain't playing. We said we ain't babying y'all this year.
But whatever, when you say to bring it out, send us a message.
Okay, you want, yeah,
I'm gonna let people tell me what they want.
I'll write off the same thing, I might, mix up,
One step, huh?
protein and that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna see.
Yeah,
I got my.
And then I'm gonna text you when I said, I'll send it to you, they can read, you can notification.
No, I don't.
I'll text you, let you know.
So thank.
So, 412,
Uh-huh.
737.
That's your tag, I have.
8545 is my cell.
Donna, what's your, your number, let me. Now it's full. I see. 427 2436 2437. Yes.
Okay, Gail on my committee.
Then I just told, I just sent you an email, so I want to be on the BPWPGH and all of these. Oh, you want to, you're just, I want to share that. Okay. But I need Jill to be on it with me, she knows everybody. I do not, thanks, no.
Hey, say a prayer for me because I'm getting ready to sell my dump truck.
All right. Take the pink one.
I am.
You are?
I am 63. I am all alone. And I am still caring for a 9-year-old mom. And I am not going to leave this earth stressed out over a dump truck or a driver. I'm not going to do it. All of my associates, people around me are dying at my age. And they are just as far as God does this.
I'll take it.
I'm not gonna be here stressed out about that.
You want.
Does anybody have anything else?
Oh, yeah, please do that, please do that.
Does anybody have anything else?
Interesting thing.
Okay, let's check.
All of a sudden, it just came like here.
So this, no, that's.
Everything should have.
Does anybody have anything else? Because otherwise I'm out.
I'm gonna say no, we just need to make sure that,
I'm gonna cancel to wipe out the ones that could be.
Ms. Jack,
I'm listening.
what was the consensus for the pay for printing of the book?
I don't know. I'm not even know if it's,
Okay,
I offered, I don't know if they need to send and say, I got 5, 6 people, 9, So I can just take that, take this over here, because the way I have it set up, it will,
Who's this?
the way I have it set up, that's mine.
Oh, okay.
Those shopping bags right there at the bottom are mine,
Okay,
and that food stuff there is mine.
okay.
Because the way I have it set up, it will,
It's in that box, what's left of it.
oh, okay, I'll definitely take that, 'cause we'll go home and sit down and pretend I won't eat now.
No, you ain't supposed to be eating that.
Or, yeah, I did, that came. Yeah, I.
All right, well.
You too.
Have a blessed
All right,
day.
we,
Okay.
And then you make sure yeah, I got two shopping bags right here. I got those, I got that blue box, I guess is mine. Those the brown container is mine. Ice container is mine. Get out of my cake. Get out of my cake.
It's a.
I'll be over, Mike.
Yeah. It's enough for you to have it or, Mount, is there something in here?
So, if you didn't believe it,
Oh, that's yours, okay.
Okay.
What's your work you took, yes, sir? Yeah. Wait a minute, is that yours?
This is yours. I'm packing these right now.
Oh, well then.
So Red, I want to take you guys around while I can. Okay?
I'm listening.
One of the reasons I don't like Zoom is because I work Zoom it's so,
That's not you.
Like, you made a very good point about
if it's
the
not,
fellowship.
right, if it's not the case here, then that's, I'm glad.
Yeah.
But anywhere else, I heard so many members say the connection was so bad.
They came, those are saying how it feels. Okay.
I am not. Taking from.
Right, that's very.
I'm going for.
Right.
Okay. So I, when you, but we wouldn't have enough, so you to be here.
Exactly.
Square.
This worked out beautifully.
Well, because there we get it, but here, I'll put it in this direction. And if it works, and all I can tell you is that you at home on Zoom, you may not get to talk. Okay, because when you come home, people can sign it.
Yeah, all of that. But they have this, it's like watching TV, but they have the capacity to raise their.
To raise their hand.
I had a baby say that outside,
I must have been stuttering.
No,
I'm.
but it's there.
It's not true. It's 7:45. You're not listening. I know what I'm trying to tell you is I'm not interested. Bring your butt to the meeting.
I know.
Because you happen to be sitting in it. I'm not gonna, I don't have the capacity.
Oh, you don't.
Not necessarily, because this is, this is up here.
Is that their,
This is my laptop.
Your laptop.
Okay, this is their wiring. That's theirs there.
Okay.
Okay, in one of those bags, I gotta get my flag.